Yep. So I repeat, we should have left this question, and you have to start taking these kind of calls in the examination when there's a bit of ambiguity. Mark for review. Last में time बचेगा. You do not know any other question. Invest 2 minutes here. Fill in the blank question, and there's no harm in taking a gamble. Sir. Clear? But I would have said you would have left it. Anybody who did it correct? Correct is over. Hats off ra. English man ke nails pinch ko ra. Right? Yeah. Wild guess says it's 50% more. If it is not half as much again can be a 50% more. Okay. But I would have left this question. And when I saw in the solutions, it was mentioned half as much again means 50% more. That's bullshit. That's literally bullshit because there's no such term called half as much again that is 50% more. Right? So to be left, according to me, first question. Second, okay, you do not know this. Fair enough, leave it. If you know this, you can solve it. No problem. But again, when I say graph where I have to solve a little lengthy, right now I would still hold it because I've not done this chapter. Maybe I'm not sure in how much time will I get the answer. Let us first gather easy questions. Okay, so I would have left this and I did leave this. This is a question which we know is coming from races. You should have definitely tried, but yeah, not more than 2 minutes or max 2.5 minutes. My major doubt that I had was if Adam and Smith run a race, are they running the same race? Yes or no? Yes? No? And I knew that people would have taken 20. Now, why did you still get the right answer if you have taken 20? Because when it says run a race, any race that you are running, if you're satisfying the given condition, clear? The answer will be correct. Because I took 20 and I got the answer. I took 3x also, I got the answer. Right? But yeah, it's not saying that they ran the same race. Are you getting it? A trial run can be a smaller race also. Let's say mock cat. When IIMs will release their notification, there will be a small mock cat in the month of September that you will write in the IIM website. That won't be a 2-hour paper. That might be a 1-hour paper also. Because they're just giving you to understand this is how the options will be there. This is how the interface would be. So get used to the interface. This is how the font would be. This is how data would look like. Clear? So here there was a bit of confusion. But yeah, if you smartly take it as 3x on a safer side, I would say always play a safer side again. Because when you have this habit of, I still see a lot of people do this, when I share, the question of the day. So there was one question on that ratio. Somebody took 500 and 600. I said, why not 500x and 600x? I said, I got the same answer. No. Now, same answer in 500 and 600 is not a problem. But when the paper becomes slightly difficult, there if you take 500, 600, then you're gone. Clear? So sometimes by taking x, maybe the answer is cannot be determined. But without taking x, you're definitely getting an answer. Are you getting it? In those kind of situations, you might get trapped. So on a safe side, I would always say a good student would never mess up with the plan. A good student will always try to take. Did you write the mock, Amma? Yeah. A good student would always ensure that he is taking a method which will definitely give him the answer. Right. So this is a very easy question in a certain race. 20 meters race. Adam and Smith. Adam beats Smith by 7. So I would write Adam by Smith is equal to 20 by 13. When Adam covers 20, Smith covers 30. Now, if Adam and Smith run a race, what part of the length of the race should Adam give Smith a head start so that Smith beats Adam by 33.33% of the length of the race? Now, 33.33 gives me 1 by 3. So what I did was I assumed that let the race be of 3x meters. Clear? Now, Smith beats Adam by 33. That means Smith has reached here. Adam is back by x. Now, Adam is starting from here and Smith is starting from here. I do not know how much head start is Adam giving to Smith. And when you write this, also tell yourself one thing. What is the question asking you? K by 3x as a percentage. In these exams, look at the question statement. So we are calculating k by 3x as a percentage. Clear? So I can say that the time in which Adam covers how much? This distance is going to be 2x. In that time, Smith covers this part. If the total is 3x and this part is k, that means Smith covers 3x minus k. Following the same strategy in the class. Ratio of speeds is always equal. So your next step should have been simple. 20 by 13 is equal to Adam is 2x, Smith is 3x minus k. Now you should tell yourself you'll definitely get the answer. Clear? Or can I say I have an equation without a constant? Remember, I have been saying this statement right from ratios. You cross multiply x and k. You cross multiply x. That means you have an equation without a constant, and that will always give the ratio of x by k. Once we get ratio of x by k, I will definitely get my answer. That should help you to go ahead with the question. Within first 1 minute, this should have been on your notes. Next 30 seconds, calculate. Maybe last 30 seconds, move out. Clear? So quick calculation will be, now again, if you want to write, you write and waste time. Or we have discussed in the class 60k. And this is also 60x, 26x comes on to my left, which will become how much? 34x minus 20k will go on the right hand side, becomes a plus 20k. You need to learn ways to save time. If you're cross multiplying and writing, trust me, you're wasting 10 seconds. Easy 10 seconds. Okay. So finally, what do we get from here? And again, remember, I want k by x. So don't write x by k here. Are you getting it? So I would rather write k by x will be equal to how much? 34 by 20, or that is 17 by 10. And I want k by 3x, still here only. K by 3x means I want into 3 in the denominator as a percentage. I am seeing a 10 and a 100, so I'll multiply this. So this 0 gets cancelled. Finally, we have what? 170 by 3. 170 by 3 break. 150 by 3 plus 20 by 3. Because I saw, there is always a chance that you might get confused between these two options. So be a little careful. First of all, it's not crossing 60, because if it has to cross 60, the fraction should be 180. It is less than 60 and more than 50. That should also be a good approximation. 150 by 3 is more than 50. 180 by 3 is less than 60. Between 50 and 60, you have only one option. Or 150 by 3 plus 20 by 3. So it's a very good convert, not a difficult model, linear races, standard approach. So you should have seen whether you have applied the same thing that you learned in the class or not. So this should have given you a bit of confidence, grabbing your first 3 marks. Clear? Right? If you know log, lovely, very easy question. Should have converted. When I saw this, all the people who are good at mathematics came into my mind, including you guys. In case you know logs, very easy question. Clear? Log 4 can be written as a log base 4. This can be written as log 2 square, and this is x minus 1, and this is log base 2, and this is x minus 3. If there's a base ka square, this comes out as 1 by 2. So this can be written as 1 by 2 log x minus 1 base 2 is equal to log x minus 3 base 2. Now, if I need to keep log 2 and log 2, if I need to cancel, 1 by 2 goes as a power here, which means in a way this is root x minus 1. Log 2 gets cancelled, is equal to x minus 3. Now, there's only one catch here. You get a quadratic equation, you get 2 values of x. Log of negative is not defined. One value you get, I guess, 2. 2 and 5 are 2 values you will get from here. Let's square it up. This is x minus 1 is equal to x square plus 9 minus 6x. Or you have x square minus 7x plus 10 is equal to 0. This is x square minus 5x minus 2x, which means what do you get? X minus 5 into x minus 2 is equal to 0. Which means my values of x are going to be either 5 or 2. Now, but if I replace 2 here, 2 minus 3 becomes minus 1, and log of negative is not defined. That means 2 is not possible. Clear? So only one solution is there of this condition. And you are in batch 3 and 5. In fact, batch 1, 2, 4 wrote mock 1 also. So I told that in mock 1 video that log is a very simple chapter which is direct formula based. Leave aside the higher level questions. Okay. So just go to Google, at least get comfortable with the properties of logarithms. Log same base m plus n is equal to m into n, and so on, so on, so on. And this is coming under the same concept. Clear? If it's coming from that formula based thing to us, I should not be leaving this question. And why log? You'll see log in every exam because since maybe 2018 or 19, we have been seeing one question coming from log in every slot. And that's what these guys do. When they make the paper, they bring up that one question, they see the trend, they make you practice. That's why I tell you, don't fall into this trap. This trap is a very bad trap, guys. Don't fall into the trap of percentile. Don't fall into the trap of how much you scored. Rather, your target should be how much you have not scored. Where are your weak areas? Where you should improve? Am I still committing calculation mistakes? Or let's say when Lochan said, in the exam, I could not solve, but after the exam, I felt it easy. So now your job is to identify that how do I ensure that in the exam, I feel it's easy. The same mistake next time low, similar mock low, you should not be repeating it. Focus on that in mock, beat any mock. Please understand the psyche of all coaching institutes here. They'll look at last year's paper. Right? There'll be a lot of all India free mocks. CL will have all India free mock. Everybody will have all India free mock. A free mock low, you won't believe there'll be 99% replica of last year's paper. And that's what they do. When they get last year's paper, things have become easy. Where the IIMs release your paper. You won't believe till 2018. Till when IIMs never released their paper. How coaching institutes used to get their paper, they used to send at least 20 or 30 of their employees to go and write the exam. 20 to 30 of their employees. Time Hyderabad used to send 70 of its employees at an all India level. Your job is, and they used to give target. You attempt only 10 questions in verbal. But your job is to by heart all the questions of verbal and come back. Right. So that was the main job of all the faculties. Right after the paper, every faculty used to rush to the headquarters, write all the questions, give it to the institute. Now, why was that important? Because keeping last year in mind, they will make the mocks. So keep this in mind. So don't fall for the percentile in the, mocks part. Yeah, you can fall for the competition game. Yeah, maybe I'm competing at a good level. But don't fall for percentile. I would rather say every mock should give you what are the areas of improvement. Let's say this. Log, if I get a simple question, I should not leave. So you can note down, go back, formula-based logs, revise once again. You get a question on logs like this, I have to attempt it. Clear? But I'm not counting in. Only people who have been good at maths can count 3 extra marks. But you should have left if you're not clear of logs. Clear? So I'm not wasting my time here in the examination. I should have definitely solved this question. Clear? Your next 3 marks comes here easily. So these two should have been solved. You want me to solve this question for you? A very easy question. If you read the question, this should be your attacking point. The difference between the mother's age and the daughter's age is 18. So I would take if the daughter is X, then the mother becomes. So the question is using X, no? Sorry. So then let's use if the daughter is D or K, then the mother is K plus 18. And 2 simple statements are given to us. 4x years ago, the mother's age was K plus 18 minus 4x, and the daughter's age was K minus 4x. And mother was 4 times the daughter's age. Clear? K and X, 2 variables and 1 equation. You go forward, and my age was 2 times your age, 2x years ago. So that means 2x years ago means K plus 18 minus 2x was 2 times of K minus 2x. Simplify the equations. You get 2 variables and 2 equations. You should be able to get your answer. So this should have been your 6 marks in the examination. Clear? Right? You should not be missing out on these 2 questions for sure. Anybody who solved this question? Okay, basic PNC. It's a basic question, right? It's okay. We'll discuss in the class. Don't worry. I have a doubt in this question. How many of you got this correct? Raise your hands, raise your hands, raise your hands, raise your hands. What is the doubt that I have? Roshan, I'm surprised you got this correct. I told Deepak, our question of Roshan, a doubt definitely. I have a doubt in this question. Who will explain me the doubt in this question? You have to guess. What should the doubt be? There's something which is ambiguous in this question. If you got the right answer, you have assumed something. And when I saw the solution, I was shocked. Tell me one thing here. When did C die in this question? When did C die in this question? Read the question carefully and tell me, did C die in this question? Yes, Hema. Did C die in this question? Read this question, please. Did Carl die in this question? Please read it once again in front of me. I read this 2 times, 3 times. I was not getting the answer here. I was literally not getting the answer. And after attempting, when I saw the solution, उसने C को मार दिया. When did C die? Read this question. Alfonso on his deathbed keeps half of his property for his wife and divides the rest equally amongst his 3 sons. Some years later, Ben dies, leaving half of his property to his widow and half to his brother Carl and Dave, shared equally. When Carl makes his will, I repeat, when Carl makes his will, he keeps half of the property for his widow. This is the only hint. But how can he make his will for his widow? Then how did Carl make his will? Yeah. They will write, when they die, my widow will get. Can I assume that also? Yeah, I was. That was my doubt. On his deathbed is okay. He's about to die. Right, but trust me, in the question did not tell you Carl died here. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised when I saw a lot of you got this question correct. I'm like, how is this possible? Clear? Yeah, so this is a mistake in the question. Carl makes his will. Sometimes what? I think it's a very clear cut that I cannot assume Carl died. Carl makes his will. So I would make my will that, okay, after my death, my wife, who becomes a widow, gets this. Are you getting it? So, but nowhere did the question. And again, look at after this part. When Dave dies, when the question clearly tells you Ben dies, Alfonso is on deathbed, which means almost about to die. When Dave dies, but nowhere has the question told you Carl dies. Right? But yeah, if you take Carl dies, only then you get the correct answer. Else you won't get the correct answer. Second assumption can be, if in the first shot you did not assume Carl dies, options are not matching. That's why I went back with Carl died. I attempted this question and then I saw the answers. Decimals mein answer aa raha hai. If I'm not making Carl die, or if I'm not killing Carl, the answer is not matching with the options. Clear? So that's a slight ambiguity part here. But yeah, others, why did you not attempt this question? Attempted and still did not get the answer. Again, my question is why? You should have used this thought process. You attempted. The way I attempted, I did not kill Carl. I killed Alfonso, I killed Ben, and I killed Dave. I calculated. The answer that I got did not match. But then I told myself, this is not a question where you should not get the answer. So then I was like, okay, the only thing I'm missing is maybe he has made Carl die. And then I calculated, I got 24, I ticked and I moved out. So others who have left this question should not have been left. Point number 2, ambiguity of this could have been avoided also. So according to me, it's a must 3 marks question. And you should have grabbed these 3 marks in the exam. So this becomes your 9 marks, crossing your first target. Clear? Right? Moving forward to the next one. How many of you attempted this question? That's a lovely question, man. How many of you attempted this question here? Prabhat did. Again, leaving these kind of questions without putting a brain. What do I mean by putting your brain to it? Simplify it and then see whether you're getting the idea or not. That does not take more than 35 seconds. Okay, because see, everywhere it's 1 by x plus 1 by y. 1 by x plus 1 by y is nothing but x plus y by xy. On the right hand side, everywhere it is 4 by x plus y. Let's cross multiply. This becomes x plus y whole square, and this is 4xy. Leave aside what is the sign here. Okay. Now, if you are not able to connect a formula, it's okay. Let's bring it here. Expand this formula. What do you get? X square plus y square plus 2xy minus 4xy. Some relationship 0. Clear? What does this give you? X minus y whole square. Remember the formula, x plus y whole square minus 4xy is x minus y whole square. You need not do this if you know the basic formula. But still, I'm okay with this. Okay. Now this becomes x minus y whole square dash 0. A square of any number is greater than or equal to 0. 0 square is 0. Okay. So square of any number, any real number, right? In fact, here the question says integers. Square of any real number is greater than or equal to 0. So therefore your answer becomes greater than or equal to 0. That should be your answer. Not to be left in the examination. These are certain questions which you can grab on the go. Clear? And that's what I mean when I say give a mindful thought to it. Not more than 30-35 seconds. But an idea ravalra. To get that idea, the fractions are simple. Now you are preparing for CAT. By now you should be very clear. 1 by x plus 1 by y is x plus y by xy. And you have x plus y, you have x plus y. This becomes x plus y whole square. And then your job becomes easy there. Clear? So according to me, yes, another 3 marks to be grabbed. Two? No, need not be distinct. You can have same also. Clear? So according to me, 3 more marks to be grabbed. 12 marks in this paper without seeing the other questions yet. Okay. A lollipop. Just put the formula and get the answer. Right. So I don't see there's any shortcut method to it. 2500 into 3 into x divided by 100 plus 1500 into x plus 1 into 3 divided by 100 is equal to 525. Clear? So another 3 marks to be grabbed. The score now becomes 15. Clear? We are seeing how easily you can still score the maximum possible. How much did you score in this paper? Quant. Quant law. Marks. Clear? Shall I proceed? Now, what is the smallest number which when increased by 3 is completely divisible by 8, 11 and 24? A very easy question. If a number has to be exactly divisible by 8, 11 and 24, it has to be LCM of 8, 11 and 24. Now, be very smart. 8 and 24, the LCM is 24. 24 and 11, 24 into 11. That's 240 plus 24. 240 plus 24 is 264. Now, 264 is exactly divisible by these numbers. Now, the question says when increased by 5 is divisible, which means if I take 259 or minus 5, this plus 5 is exactly divisible. Clear? The correct answer is this minus 5. So, irrespective of the fact, you 269 Rasava. Can we take what is the smallest number means? Can we take 0 and answer? No, in these kind of questions, you can't. In these, if you remember, I told you in these kind of numbers, we are always talking about natural numbers. A common difference model undi kada LCM lo. Danlo kuda cheppanu. K has to start with 1. Okay. So if you have a number in the form of, let's say, divisible by 12 leaves the remainder of 2, here you can take 0. And the smallest number is 2. But when I'm talking about divisible by 12 or 12 minus 2, you can't take 0 because in all these numbers, your numbers start with natural numbers only. Clear? Right? So your answer here becomes 259. According to me, you should have grabbed this. Doesn't matter if this is no chapter zone here. By now, in our classes, we have always discussed, remember, how do I avoid fraction? The number has to be a multiple of 5 or a divisible by 5. Clear? And the number has to be divisible by 4, which means the number has to be an LCM of 5 and 4. Right? So don't think if it's, whether you're done with numbers or not, especially batch 6. Very simple question. You should have definitely converted. In this paper, 3 more marks to grab. And the score becomes 18 by now. Clear? You do not know octagon, it's okay, forget it, move out, or we'll discuss after mensuration is done. This is again an easy question if you know probability, not a difficult one at all, only calculations are there. Right? The question says people who know probability, I'll just give you a hint and move out, okay? School is preparing for a science team. Amongst the class, 4/5 of the students are to be selected at random. It is known that there are a total of 15 students. 15 means 12 have to be selected. So denominator becomes 15C 12, total number of cases, right? So out of 12, the question says in the class, 66.66% are boys, 33.33% are girls. What is the probability that the science team will have at least 2/3 boys, 2/3 of 12, that is 8 boys, at least 8 boys, which means I want 8 boys and 4 girls, one case, 9 boys and 3 girls, second case, 10 boys and 2 girls, third case. That's it. So committee formation, right? So 8 boys out of 10 boys, 10C8 into 5C4 or 10C9 into 5C3 or 10C10 into 5C2. Simplify and calculate and move out. So not counting as your attempt, but yeah, people who know this, very simple question, grab the bonus. When it says 50, I'm sure you would have converted these kind of questions only, nothing else. Clear? Because total paper was 60 marks. So when you are having these kind of simple questions, grab them. If you know, grab it. Be ruthless, simple here. Clear? But you're not counting. Still, optimum score becomes 18, right? You're at 18 in the previous question. This was one question which literally, maybe needed a good calculation skills or a good interpretation skills. Right? So I did with the basic method, it definitely took a lot of time, but then if you apply a small common sense, your answer becomes easy. The common sense is to copy 40 pages if A takes 4 minutes more than B. Clear? So can I say, if since they're working with the same efficiency, to copy 50 pages, can I say A will take 5 minutes more than B? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Right? So A will take 5 minutes more than B. A, B, if A takes X plus 5. Okay. And I know that together they are taking how much time? You can use this and get your answer complete. The problem with 40 was I do not have this. Clear? If I do not have this, then it's definitely going to take a lot of time. Clear? So if you're applying this, convert it. How many of you converted this question? 1, 2. Apply the same logic. Long method. Okay. Basic method is that 1 by x plus 1 by y. Yeah? So yeah. So you can know by the equation. If you want to go that way, A takes 4 minutes more than B. So if B takes x minutes, then A will take x plus 4 and you take 40 as the total work. Then you get some efficiency. Same. So what is the efficiency here? Efficiency is the time taken per page. Clear? So can I say efficiency of this guy will become 40 by x plus 4 and efficiency of this guy will become 40 by x. Now I'm told A plus B together is 6 minutes for 50 pages. So can I say one page A plus B together is this much? Efficiency, time taken to print one page. Clear? So time taken to print 50 pages will be 50 into this much. This is equal to, this is a basic method that you can apply. Clear? Either ways, either I'm converting 4 in terms of 5, taking x and simplifying, or I just do this. But yeah, here you might get a weird quadratic equation, convert it and get your answer. Clear? But yeah, in case you have not converted, fair enough, no problem. We can still skip to ignore, because not a very easy convert, because this equation needs a lot of holding power to calculate. Because you take 40 also common, how much do you get? 50 into 40 is 2000. So I can take 40 common, no? So this becomes 2000. And inside the brackets, what do we have? We have x plus 4 plus 1 by x. Clear? And this is equal to 6. So if you see, you'll definitely get a weird equation. That's not a very simple equation, but you'll definitely get an answer also. Clear? So in case you're good at handling quadratic equation, you should be able to convert it easily. Hmm? But yeah, we are not sure if the answer is an integer also, no? What you're saying is correct, that boats and streams laga. You can still do it, but we are not sure if the answer is definitely going to be an integer. Else 2 and 4 will satisfy. But denominator gap should be 4. We can also try that. But options leave kada. So we can't be sure. That's the only reason I did not go with it. Because 150 into a decimal value can be an integer value. See, what is the question ask you? Time taken by A to type 150 pages. Which is the final answer is 1 page key. A is taking 40 by x plus 4. So 150 pages A will take 150 into 40 by x plus 4. So this can definitely be an integer, no? Clear? Yeah, Roshan? Right? Because I thought did this method only, there will be a quadratic and eventually you'll get the answers. Fair enough. In case you get it, just let me know. We'll discuss it. No problem. Okay. So not counting these 3 marks, don't worry. But so far 18 definitely to be converted. Other method? Other method is simple. See, they are working with same efficiency, right? So if A takes 4 minutes more than B, so gap is 4 minutes. To type how many pages? 40 pages. Efficiency remains same. 40 jagalo if they are doing 50 pages. Can I say the gap will be 5 minutes? Clear? If the gap is 5 minutes, then I'm saying that if B is taking X minutes, A will take X plus 5 minutes, and together they are taking 6 minutes. To type how many pages? Equate A plus B is equal to AB. Because the minute you have this, in the previous one, we did not have this. The minute I have this, this will become what? 50 by X plus 5. This will be 50 by X. And this will be 50 by 6. So this plus this is equal to this. 50 cancels, JC. Simple quadratic vastadi. Clear? So this 50 common, this 50 goes off. You get a very simple quadratic equation and you will definitely get your answer. So that was a good thought process. Clear? But as I said, sometimes getting down to this, you know how questions are made by human beings. They have certain things in their mind. Solution nunchi, some questions are made. This is made that way. Clear? So not a very commonly seen question, but yeah, after seeing this question, we can apply this logic in certain time and work questions, especially when the work is given to us in a weird format. Clear? Work is given to us in a very weird format. We can use this. Clear? If you know, see here, this question does not fall into permutations and combinations category. To me, permutations and combinations is nothing but counting methods. If you are applying a basic logical reasoning, puzzle can be termed as this. How? Let's see this. The question says there are 6 boxes numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Each box is to be filled either with a red or a green ball in such a way that at least one box contains green ball. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can be a possibility of all the 6 being green as well. Okay. And the boxes containing green balls are consecutively numbered. Clear? In how many ways can this be done? At least one green ball. So let me assume that there is exactly one green ball. Clear? Can I say that green ball can be in box 1 or box 2 or box 3 and rest all are red balls, right? Yeah, red balls. Clear? So I repeat. So out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's a possibility this is green and rest all of them are red. See, understand, green balls should be consecutively numbered. Red balls need not be. Clear? The second possibility is green comes here, rest all of them are red. The third possibility is green, 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 and green. So one green ball can be in 6 possible ways. So I go ahead with this as 6 ways. Now tell me in how many ways can I have 2 green balls? See here, if it has 2 green balls, now the condition comes in that consecutively numbered. Consecutively numbered means 1 and 2 should have green balls. Rest all of them will have red balls. Consecutive, but consecutive can also be 2 and 3 are green balls. Rest all of them are red balls. So 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6. So with 2 green balls and remaining red balls, there are 5 ways. The minute you pick up this, then to picking the rest is very easy. So 3 green balls will be now what? 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, and 4, 5, 6. So understand how do you easily calculate? Understand 1, 2, 3. Serial number is going here. 1, 2. So come last 6, 5, and 4. So from 1 to 4 is 4 possible ways. You can use this logic when you have larger number of balls. We have a question in progressions. I will test you there. Don't worry. So the question says you have 1 to 50 natural numbers, right? And 5 terms are picked and they are in arithmetic progression. How many series are possible? In that, this method will be helpful. First term, last term, and go out. Okay. So how many such cases? 4. And you are seeing a trend, which means for 4 green, it will be 3 cases. How 3 cases? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 cases with 5 green balls, 2 case with all the 6 green balls, 1 case. That's it. Not expecting you to convert, but please understand these kind of questions come under counting rules and not in permutations combinations. Clear? Right? But still not counting it. Very easy question. Time and work. The 7th question you should have converted. With this, your mark should have been 21. A man can do as much work in one day. One man in one day can do equal to one woman in 2 days. So this gives me what? Man by woman will be 2 by 1. A child does 1/3 of the work in a day as a woman, which means woman by child will be 3 by 1. Or in short, into 3 into 3. So man does 6, woman does 3, and child does 1 unit per day. Clear? An estate owner hires 39 pair of hands with when men, women, and children, the ratio of 6:5:2. 13, 39, each part is 3. So 18 men, 15 women, and 6 boys. And they are given a total of 1113. What must be the daily wages of a child if the amount is proportional to the amount of work done? So into 6 into 3 into 1. So 18 6 15 3 is 45 and 6. This gives you how much? 153 plus 159x is equal to 1113. 9 and 3, so 9 sevens are clear. So your answer becomes x is equal to 7. So 6x, 3x, and x. Clear? Now the question is asking you, child's wages proportional to the amount of work done. So child's wages is X. So the answer is equal to 7. So 7 questions by now, 21 marks should have been there with you. Clear? Area of a triangle, if you know equilateral triangle, a very easy question, not a difficult one at all. Just to give you a hint, people who know a bit of geometry, if I'm circumscribing an equilateral triangle with a circle, okay, so your centroid, your in center, your circumcenter, everything lies at the same point in a equilateral triangle. Clear? So centroid is very easy to calculate because in an equilateral triangle, the height, the median, and the angle bisector and the perpendicular bisector fall on the same line. So this is the height of the equilateral triangle, and this is the centroid, and this becomes the radius of the circle. And what significance of centroid? Centroid divides the median in the ratio of 2:1 from the vertex. So the area of equilateral triangle is given. From here, you go ahead with root 3 by 4, a square is equal to 4 root 3, or a is equal to 4. That means the side is equal to 4. Now, what is the height of an equilateral triangle? That's root 3 by 2a. So the height of this equilateral triangle becomes root 3 by 2 into 4. Don't simplify. That's the height. I want 2/3 part of the height into 2 by 3. This becomes the radius of the circle. Still don't simplify, because this is not my last step. My last step is area of the circle. So pi into r square. Now you want simplify and get out. Clear? So if you know the basic formulas of equilateral triangle, this becomes an easy question. This is 16. Root 3 square becomes 3. Denominator is 9. 3 ones are 3 3 are 16 by 3 pi becomes your answer. But still not counting because equilateral triangle has not been done. But yeah, I would say I told this in the first mock also. Irrespective of that, I'm telling you now as well. Basic geometry formulas like equilateral triangle, you should not be missing out on. Area of the triangle formulas. In fact, batch 5, all of you, your geometry will start this week. But still, as I said, log formulas, indices and surds formulas, basic identities formulas, x plus y whole square, x minus y whole square, a cube plus b cube, a cube minus b cube, right? There's certain these basic formulas you should definitely know. So please invest a bit of time in, trying to get those formulas. If not, it's okay. We'll discuss in the class and we'll complete. Don't worry about it. Again, a very easy question. I don't know how many of you got this correct. No? Why? Why? A container contains pure juice. Harish mixes water, which is equal to 1/4 of the volume of the juice. Clear? Juice and water. Now, Manish does not know and sells 1/4 of this mixture. Now, remember, I am removing any quantity. It will be in the ratio in which they are mixed. So what I did was, since the total quantity is 5x and 1/4 is sold, so can I say remaining is 3/4? 3/4 of 5x. That means 15x by 4 liters are already there, and they are in the ratio of 4:1 only. Because when you remove some quantity from a solution, the ratio does not change. Ratio changes only when you mix. So they are in the ratio of 4:1. That means milk is going to be 4 by 5 of 15 by 4, and water is going to be 1 by 5 of 15. You can take x also, no problem. X by 4. This I am till here. And then adds water to replenish the quantity that he has sold. Total was 5x, which means 20x by 4. 20x by 4 से हमारा कितना हो गया? 15x. How do you simplify numbers is what I'm trying to show you. Don't get into decimals and all. I was just having a discussion with one more guy right now. He's happy with decimals. Right? Please understand, if this is the last question of the paper. You have been slogging your mind for 2 hours. Pre-exam tension kuda untadi. In the last minute, do you think your mind is capable enough of handling weird decimals? I was telling him that only, that students will only start appreciating my methods if they start considering this point. 20% increase. I also know it's 1.2 here. I think I do not know it's 1.2. But then why do I use 6 by 5? Because sometimes the denominator 1.2 kills us. And the denominator 1.30 kills us. Numerator 1.3 does not kill you. And that's why initially when I started my teaching career, I used to do 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. But then I started realizing that when you're going to the end of the paper, it's important your processes are simplified here. You need to, now since you have started writing mocks, you need to realize that by the end of 2 hours, maybe your mind gets fucked badly. And I'm sure by now you would have checked how many of you committed at least one calculation mistake in the whole paper. Everyone comes in that category. Everyone. Abba, no, you stay so apple mouse. Bank PO exam majilo hoste vaksar apply cheskondra. Why I'm asking to apply, go and see how are those centers. That's a center owned by TCS, right? All the exams happen there. All the exams. You talk about any bank PO exam, any online exam. That's why TCS started their own centers. These are called Ion Digital Centers. The mouse doesn't work like a mouse. You'll struggle to move the mouse. Keyboards, keys you can't press. Right? So there, when you use calculator, it becomes difficult. Right? And trust me, for this question, you're using calculator, you're wasting time. It's not a keyboard-based mouse here, a calculator. Right? If you're saying yes, then my only very harsh comeback will be is 27 is not a deserving score in this paper. You save more time, get more marks. And you will save time if you are very clear with your calculations. Flow untadira. Online calculator flow break avutadi. You have to keep on typing. By the end of the calculation, kada, it's still a small question. By the end of the calculation, maybe you're lost where you were. It takes a few seconds for you to get back to it. So sometimes it's about a flow. You are going in a nice flow. You don't want a stoppage there. Right? So online calculator will be a stoppage there. At least for these kind of calculations, you don't need an online calculator. Now, what is this guy doing? He's adding 5x by 4 of water. That's it. To make things better, this is 20. Make this as 20. Into 5 into 5. So this is 25 plus 15. What is 25 plus 15? 40. Denominators are equal. This is 20 in the denominator. And this is 4 into 15 is how much? 60. 60 is to 40 is? Yeah. Clear. Very easy question. Should not have been missed. 3 more marks. Our count goes up to 24. Clear? How many of you solved this? Very easy question. Just needs a bit of idea, or a smarter way can be is you can assume numbers and also do it. Which format? Which line? Removal and replacement. I'm not removing first. I'm adding. Addition, then removal, then replacement. You can still do it. Addition means you have to be in the first place. 4x and x. Coming. Okay. Now he mixes water, which is equal to 1/4 of the volume of. Yeah, you can do this. No, what is the problem? Huh? Addition should be pure solution, Nana. Inka clear avleda. What I'm diluting with should be pure. I'm adding only water. I can apply removal replacement in this. No problem. Clear? So I'll start with this. First, I'm adding this. Now what am I doing? I am removing 1/4 of the mixture and I'm adding back. So from here, removal and replacement. So you'll get final quantity of orange juice. So what is the final quantity of orange juice? Is equal to initial quantity of orange juice into 1 minus quantity removed. What is quantity removed? 1/4 of total. 1/4 of 5x divided by total initial quantity. అంతే రావట్లేదా వచ్చిందా అదే ఎందుకటే కదా ఓ అదా no see sometimes when the numbers are easy then why do I need to do removal and replacement and I would have still done this was the last question of our PPT if you remember classroom PPT we had a similar question and that we did 3 times ఇక్కడ one time ఏ చేశాడు రా if it's one time I can use lovely numbers and get out no అర్థమైందా but this is also correct no problem perfectly fine last question of our PPT we did this 3 times adding then removing adding removing adding removing 3 times is what we had done if you want you can go back to mixtures PPT last question clear this was again must do question if you want you can assume examples also and go ahead batch 6 can be spared with but batch 3 and 5 you can't because any prime number yeah no 6k plus 1 is the value of p or 6k minus 1 is the value of p any prime number batch 6 spare me for 2 minutes okay let's fight with batch 3 and 5 square it yeah so squaring this gives me what 36k square plus yeah 12k plus 1 minus 1 and this will also give you 36k square minus 12k plus 1 minus 1 so that is your problem anti nee kosam ee question undra this question is made for people like you only right now so you have 12k common what do you have 3k plus 1 now please understand Roshan what is the value of k do I know that no but I know one thing for sure k can be even or k can be odd 6 into 2 minus 1 is also a prime number 6 into 3 minus 1 is also a prime number so k can be even or k can be odd so one thing I can definitely say it's a multiple of 12 you are wrong because how are you concluding this వస్తున్నా for the number 2 for this to become a divisible of 24 I need a multiple of 2 if k is even this will become 2x an even number is in the form of 2x so this automatically becomes 24 right now if k is odd 3 into k plus 1 will be even number 3 into k is odd plus odd is even so I get an even from here even into 12 will also be a multiple of 24 now had this been just till here I would have agreed your argument but the question is the option is shouting and telling you bro look at this please conclude this you'll get it divisible 20 all of them will divisible 24 that's why I'm telling you batch 6 if batch 6 has to solve it assume 2 to 3 numbers vachistadi but batch 1 2 3 4 and weekend you have to fight with this clear right so it's a very direct question if you have been in the class just apply this and get out you'll definitely get the answer and the answer is d is divisible by 24 we are at 27 marks clear probability this was a good question but okay you can still leave it no problem right that's it so according to me your score should be 27 on an ideal basis in case you are sticking to whatever has been taught in the class but yes this paper gave you enough scope to score a little more like that xy wala question clear I guess one more question is missing here no that unity wala question was missing no did I skip it Skipped kya? Okay. That was one question that you should have crossed. Sorry, Lochin. Oh, yeah, this one we missed. Again, a lovely question should have been converted here. There are two ways. One is, we'll discuss this in algebra also. There is a formula that you generally use, that arithmetic mean is always greater than or equal to geometric mean. This is generally used for maximum minima. There's also a say that goes in the market for maximum minima. You can use differentiation and integration, but not required. Maximum minima, all the questions of quant are based on this standardized formula. Clear? And geometric mean, how do you calculate geometric mean of n terms? That nth root of product of all the terms. Okay. And arithmetic mean is nothing but sum of all the observations divided by number of observations. Now the question is, the product is unity. So nth root of unity is always 1. N is always a positive number. So into n. So sum of all these numbers is always greater than or equal to n. If it's greater than or equal to n, C becomes your answer. But yes, I'm sure a lot of you will be shouting and saying, we do not know this formula. But this needs a bit of common sense. Clear? Now, if I need a bit of common sense, product of certain numbers is unity, that is 1. So can I say, if I assume two numbers, and let's take a random number. Suppose I'm taking 2. Then the other number becomes clear. So if I'm taking 2, which means the value of n is equal to 2, can I say the sum is greater than 2? Okay, let's take one more example if you want. Let's go with a weird example. Let's say 1 and 1. 1 into 1 is also 1. Clear? In that case also, if n is equal to 2, you got the sum as exactly 2. Clear? If you have some weird thoughts in mind, let's say a number called 17 by 18. No problem. 17 by 18 into 18 by 17. Clear? If you add these two numbers, a commonsensical point, clear? This will be more than 1. This will be very close to 1, which will more or less tend towards being equal to 2 only. So just take 3 simple examples and then you can conclude that the number is never falling less than n. Clear? But yeah, I'll still not count this to be 3 marks. But yeah, if you, I repeat, for people who are good at maths, this paper gave you enough scope to score. When I say enough scope to score, for people who know maths well, this was excused, still excused. We'll discuss soon, later. Leave the question. You're right. So leave the question. No? Leave the question. Did you only get a wrong question or everybody got the wrong question? That's it. Clear? Right? So leave it because of the word as much again. I'm not sure of the word again. Okay? So leave it. Must solve. People who are good at maths must solve. 2, 3. For normal people, as I told you, 18, 27. Okay? People who are good, we are discussing that. Assuming that you do not know, leave it. 4, 5, 6, 7. Octagon, you can still leave it. Definitely doable. 8, 9, or leave it. Slightly difficult. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Also easy. 14. People who are good at maths, I would have expected somewhere around a close to 40, 42 as a score. But otherwise, I think 27 is a very good score at this level in this paper. Anybody who got 27? Lojan, what was the percentile in quant? Percentile in quant. Agar section wise tab undara chusava. Okay, any roughly 90s, 80s, 95. So around 27 should be close to 90s, I guess, somewhere in 90s zone, which is a good show at this point in time here. And more than that, try to see why did you not score any of these 27, or which means 9 questions. If you have not scored, your job is to go back, revise, and then again come forward. The constant revision is something which is very important, guys. I'll be sharing a few questions tomorrow, day after tomorrow, which are some really very good questions which have come up in some of the slots in 2020 and 2021. And I would be really blunt here. If you are in slot 3 last year or slot 2 in 2020, papers have been relatively difficult and you can't complain. They say they normalize. So what they have done is morning slot, afternoon slot, the marks per question was less than 1 or less than 3. Each correct answer was slightly less than 3. In the third slot last year, each correct answer was more than 3. So I am justifying saying that, bro, we normalize the papers. But if you still ask me, was it worth 3.1 marks? No. As compared to morning 2 slots, evening slot paper was worth more than 3.1. But yes, evening slot last year gave a good fight to the level of questions. I would compare 10 questions in the evening slot to be equally good as 13 questions in the morning slots. 3 questions ka gap, and the questions were of good level. Right. So please be ready for certain good level questions. And you do not know which slot you might get what kind of questions. And in every slot, if I say 13 were doable, 3 to 4 were like good questions. When I say good questions involving conceptual depth, calculation depth, and everything altogether. So that's what I'm telling you. Try to see that we are scoring at least the easy ones. I did not count the time and work question in this. I've skipped the speed, time, and distance in this. I've not given you marks for logarithms. But these 9 should have been the maximum possible one. And I repeat, if I'm attempting 9 or 10 questions in a span of 40 minutes, what's the time per question? 4. Then for God's sake, stop having negative marks here. Are you getting it? If you have attempted less than 10 questions, which means the time per question is 5 minutes per question. If you are anywhere spending 3.5 to 4 minutes per question, you cannot come out with negative marks. For somebody who is racing like 2 minutes per question kind of speed, mistakes are understandable. Because that guy is rushing. So somewhere or other, he might have assumed a wrong thing, calculated a wrong thing, because he's racing. Right. But when you are looking at 3 to 4 minutes per question, you're not racing. And if there also you're getting negative marks, which means you have to think, why are you getting those negative marks, and strongly work on them. Don't wait for the magic to happen on the day of the examination. If calculations are not correct, the solution is not that my calculations will be correct on the day of the examination, or as Lochan is saying, we'll use calculator. Try using calculator and also be convinced that your time is losing or not. See, in your case, you might not lose time. Why? Because see, there are 2 aspects to it. Understand, Lochan. Somebody who's good at maths, his processing speed is good. Right? Processing speed is good. He can still afford to use a calculator. Now, I can't make this statement for everybody, go and use a calculator. Somebody who's a little slow in mathematics, his processing is slow. So can I say he or she will take slightly more time to understand the question and also calculate? So if that person is using calculator, then that will be a bigger disadvantage to that kind of student. So I repeat, I'm not saying that do not use calculator, but experiment in the examination, and not with the keyboard, with the mouse. And assumption also, as I told you, since I have been using that center at least for last 6 years, the mouse is bad. Uska jo niche ka ball rehta na, that's very bad. Sometimes you have to lift and again keep it every time and then try to use it. So assume that tad bit of reduction in efficiency of the mouse also. And then while practicing, if you are getting it correct, no, use it. And I repeat, use mocks to also experiment. Let's say when you have this argument saying that, or when we have this discussion saying, can I use calculator? Next mock, go ahead with calculator. See, is your efficiency increasing, reducing? You'll automatically get a equilibrium point. But to me, to be very frank, to me, it's a break of flow. I've used in the examination. I always found after a weird calculation, I'm like, where was I? So again, I take a few seconds to read the question to understand where am I, and the flow gets stopped. So I use calculator only when there's a weird calculation in decimals and all. I just move on. Clear? Second point, to also come back to your point for others as well. Why do I still not advise you to use calculators now? I also gave this justification, I guess. CAT is the only exam that gives you calculator. And CAT is the first exam. So if till CAT you are practicing with calculator, after CAT you are gone, and IFT and ZAT, they screw you in calculations. They have crazy calculations, 2 decimal points, 3 decimal points, and without calculator you have to use it. Right, so that is also one more area where what I generally tell my students is practice time the calculator use mat karo. Having said, experiment in the mock, no problem. But in the mock, keep your eyes and ears open. If it's a weird calculation, your mind should tell, let's use calculator or let's calculate. If your mind is pushing you to use calculator, use calculator. For that, experiment in the mocks. Can I use calculator? No problem. You can experiment it. Clear? All the best, guys. See you in the next class. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yep.
So the question on mixtures, allegation mixtures,
Yeah.
small doubts.
Chepna.
Sir, అది ఒకసారి 5x అయిపోయిన తర్వాత 1/4 తీసి 1/4 వేసిన ఆప్షన్స్ లో ఏది 5x ఉంటే అది అలా పెట్టచ్చు. అంటే it works for everything.
Yeah, that also works. Should not be a problem. You can as well go ahead with that. Should not be a problem, bro. Okay, no?
It works for everything.
You can do, but I still have a doubt. What if you have a multiple of 25? Let's say 17:8 and not 5. Are you getting, Prabhat?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It can also be a multiple of 25, you know?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Hello.